Here we go. Hi, folks. Welcome back.
Hello.
Yay. Good to have you with us. Who we got? Oh, good. We got the thumbs down already. Jeez, whoever you are.
Oh, really?
Just go away. Just go away.
They must be bored.
Yeah, we're not going to quit because of your thumbs down, so just go away.
No. Right.
Jeez.
Go get a life.
Yeah. So welcome, everyone. Good to have you with us. Yeah, we're going to play. Yes. We have our canvases out. Now, I was going to have more ready, but I can't find the keys to my boxes where all my specialty threads are. I can't find the keys. The guy, when we moved, the moving guy said, now, if you have to lock any cabinets, he said, tape the keys to the back of the cabinet so you don't lose the keys. Well, I thought there's no way I'm letting them put cabinets in a truck. I'll never see those keys. They'll get scrubbed off, you know. So, all right, I'm going to put the keys where I know where they're at. I have no idea where they're at. So
Yeah.
I'll have to pick the lock or something. I don't know. I'll figure something.
Yeah. And the fact that you were sick at the time, you
Right.
locked it.
Yeah.
That didn't help matters
Yeah.
any. Yeah.
Mind was not there. So, all right. So tonight, as we talked about, we're going to start playing with painted canvas, with the painted canvases we talked about. And we've pulled some threads. I actually have some stuff to look at. We've pulled some threads. We've got some ideas. We have some pretty extensive things from Jane Wood that we'll go over with each of the canvases and just talk about them. And then, of course, you're all here, and we appreciate that. So any input or thoughts are open. We're certainly open to it. I got to get a pen so we can write down those ideas.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, so we can write down
Pen.
those ideas. Pen. Cool. Technology.
Yeah.
So if you have ideas or thoughts, fire them at us because, yeah, we're we're
We
just
don't know what we're
learning.
doing.
We're just learning.
That's right.
My birch canvas is going for $210. Holy smokes!
Oh my. Oh my.
I got a deal. I knew it was a deal.
Yeah.
D, this is the canvas I'm working on. D, that one, $210. Yeah,
It is gorgeous.
it is. I knew I had a
Well,
deal. I
I
didn't
mean,
think it was that much of a deal.
I mean, and it'll be cool when you get it done too.
Yeah, yeah. So, okay, so we're just learning, we're playing, we're just figuring things out. That's all we're doing. We're not trying to win any awards here,
Nope.
because that ain't going to happen.
No.
So we're just going to play and learn and spend an hour or so here just talking about stuff and then go on and try more stuff. And when I get my threads, I'll try more. So I think, well, I had the announcements up. Yeah. So we just recorded today with
Melinda
Melinda
Sherbring.
Sherbring. Holy smokes, that was fun. We had a great time with her. So that's Sunday. That's going to be really good. Kathy Ray Wednesday. And then next week, Cindy Gershon. You absolutely do not want to miss Cindy Gershon next Sunday and Wednesday the 28th. You do not want to miss because what a tremendous, just a pile of information that will help you be a better stitcher. Really was good. So that's coming up. And then on the 30th, when we celebrate that World Embroidery Day,
Right.
Natalie Dupuy and Kathy Andrews are two of our guests. And so I'm waiting to hear from one more person. So we have Natalie Dupuy and Kathy Andrews, who is incredibly talented. Well, Natalie is too. And so then one more guest. So join us for that. That's at 2 o'clock on the 28th, Friday afternoon, 28th. Take the afternoon off. Got to stitch. Sorry, I'm out.
Yeah.
2 to 5. And so it'll be Jennifer, Beth, and me. And then each hour a designer. And we'll just chat, stitch. Kathy said she'd be happy to do it. She was working in her studio that afternoon. So we'll get to see maybe some cool things.
Nice.
So, yeah. So join us for that too. Mark that down on the thing. All right, let's go to yours. Sorry, clear. Here we go. So this is
All right.
Beth's
Oh, I took
canvas,
my,
and
yes.
I'm gonna zoom in a little bit here. Whoops. So we can get more of the canvas. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Yes, I am. There, move it.
Tell me if,
See if you can move it more to the center and away from you.
uh,
There, and now let me turn down the brightness. Put your finger on it or something to make it focus. Well,
is it not like the thread?
I don't know why it does that. Okay, well, we'll be fine. We can see the design, so we'll be fine.
Yes, I'm pulling things off here.
Yeah,
I was just throwing threads on the canvas.
yes.
But I think I found my background thread.
Oh, good.
So this is like a light, can you see how pale that yellow is? I don't know, maybe if and it's a Splendor. Turn it the right way.
Yeah.
You all.
Here.
And I think, and then a friend sent me some,
There. Now I got it. Now it looks better. Okay, now I got it.
friend sent me some ideas for sand, and I'm thinking something um, vertical going across. I don't know why I see something that kind of zigzags across the canvas, a diagonal stitch. And and so any input on that, I don't know why I see that. So well, even just like I'm going to call it a Byzantine stitch. Oh, and I just dropped something. So one that's very, very zigzaggy
Yeah.
would work.
Yeah.
But that would be, I'm afraid, I've always done that where it's kind of been more full coverage where you really cover it. And I'm really thinking I really don't want to, I don't want to lay that many threads, but I was thinking something just light.
That does seem to be a good color, though.
Yeah. So something that you like, you did, well, here, I hate to show, I don't want to show I'm just going to do a little square. Let's see if you can see that. Can you see that?
Here, I can zoom in.
So it's a diagonal.
Yeah.
And then every now and then there's a little random X in there. And then it skips the little short stitch every now and then.
So that's where your sparkle could go?
Right, right. And it would give it texture in the back by making the little cross stitch rather than like a flat stitch, because sand has pebbles in it, whatever.
Yeah.
So I just thought that would be interesting, and I could add the sparkle using the that little X.
Right. Right.
And it wouldn't be every single one even. You can see it's not well, I don't know if you can see that, but it's not a complete, you don't make it every single time.
Yeah.
So I don't know, that I think this color would work. If nothing else, a few plies of this, I'll have to try that out.
It looks like it would work, and it looks like it would go with the animals.
Right.
Not conflict with them. Yeah.
Right. And that's what I want. And I think because I'm plying it down and it's not going to be like this baby. It looks kind of like a baby yellow in person, but I think it'd work. Okay. Yeah. And then Gary and I were talking beforehand that these colors are the same that are really in Royal Garden and in the Inchies piece that I did with Kathy Reese. And so I have these threads. It's not, and this colorway. So look at this. This is watercolors.
Oh, there it is.
And see how, there it is. And it's Appalachia.
Yep. There it
and
is.
So I was, yeah.
Wild. That's wild.
That is. So I know, it'd be easy to pull. If I use, even using this in this lizard over here.
Could you do him the whole thing just with that thread?
I wondered, but I'm not sure though. It might be too busy. And I think of a gecko as being kind of smooth and not bumpy.
But
So I don't know.
you could manipulate the thread to keep your colors, and then
Right,
you'd have more graduation between the stripes, though.
right, right. So it wouldn't be so quite so busy,
Yeah, however you
but
stitch
keeping
it.
that colorway. Right,
Huh.
right. And I'm still not sure about that. But but that pulling that color kind of, and this was in the same, um, this was with the confetti colorway with that the Kathy Reese piece was,
Uh-huh.
inchies. So, and look how that matches that green there.
Yep. Right on. Yep.
So, right. But I have, and here's my problem though. Oh, well, that does look good. So there I have neon rays. Ooh, I have, okay, let's be crazy. Panache. Let's see. What
Panache.
else? Oh, and yes,
It's like neon rays is too sparkly. Panache is that slick.
it's a round. It's a pearl. It's like a pearl.
Oh, it is. Oh,
So neon rays is flat.
yeah. You'd
This
want it to lay
plus is
flat, I
flat and
think, wouldn't you?
sparkly. Yeah, and so that is sparkly, and I just happen to have this color, but I'm thinking if I got it not with the plus, the neon rays in a flat in this color,
Right.
that might work. But then I also have this Fiesta,
Oh,
and I
yeah.
don't know. So anyway,
It
and
seems yes.
then
It seems flat and shiny, but not sparkly.
right, right. The Fiesta again is a floss. It's a rayon floss. So I would probably be saying naughty words while stitching with this one. So I don't
Yeah.
know. That might not be in there. We'll see.
Yeah.
But then look at the cry neck, this white for the diamond,
Okay. The edge of the diamond.
the edge of the diamond, and then I'm thinking just this flat neon rays. Let's see. See that? It was the other that way.
Okay. For
And
that.
it looks much more red. It's,
Yeah.
it's not showing up on the camera. And then I know my son requested this. And so I'm thinking I might not, might have to change these pinks out,
Mm-hmm.
but I haven't decided what to do. But there's always the purple. Now this is sparkly, but that'd be okay with the silk lame braid. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or should it all be shiny and flat?
See, for me, this that's what the snake is, and then you bring your texture into the other ones.
Oh, yes. Someone suggested, okay, Alice, you could do the rougher part of the gecko and that lovely variegated, and the legs and head in a more delicate solid thread. Ooh. Okay, what are the tube things? This is,
Your frame weights. She's,
oh, these?
yeah.
Yeah, they're my frame weights that need to be redone. The beads are falling out because I was a newbie and I didn't stitch through them twice.
They're frame weights, and you can do those are very nice. You can just put a bunch of pennies in a sock, and then you don't have to have a stitching stand. You just put the weight on your stretcher bars like that, and let it hang off the table, and then you can stitch without having a stand or a holding device. And but yeah, just take a bunch of pennies and put them in a heavy sock and get the same effect. But yeah, they're just called frame weights.
Right. And these were nice. We made them at Guild one time. All right. So, okay. So you're thinking
Cindy,
smooth on this.
I think one of them has to be a different texture from the other two. I'm not sure it matters which one, though the horned
The,
toad has to
the,
be rough. He has no
yeah.
choice.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so.
So
And then I have,
it seems like the snake lends itself to being the slick one.
right. Right. And then this, just a little bit of texture on the gecko, maybe finding
Yeah.
something smaller than, but these, it's nice to have a colorway to start with using the
Right.
watercolors. But here, look at these. This is really rough. It's like what is this? It's chainette. And I've stitched with it, but I don't know how good it'll be on the canvas.
Uh huh.
But it's the right color. But look at this one too, with that teal.
Yeah.
So again, and I was thinking that for the bearded dragon,
Mm-hmm.
or the horned toad, whatever he is.
Now, are you gonna do the two body parts different colors, or are you gonna? What are you thinking
I,
there?
I'm I'm not sure. I'm thinking two colors, but I haven't decided yet. It depends on if I can find a thread I really like. Because this one would work all the way across. It's nice and variegated. I have plenty
Right.
of it,
Yeah. That's why I
and
asked. Yeah.
a nice bumpy stitch. And then there's the little red dots. I mean, I don't have to do them red. I could do them with the sparkle
Yeah.
on top of that,
Hmm.
which would add just enough interest. And then we've been discussing round and round and round about his head, and someone suggested that I do him with a beaded ruffle, like figure out how to make this his head beaded and make the ruffle so it stands on top of whatever I stitch here.
Yeah. I think there's potential there. It's just how much effort you want to put into it.
Right, right.
Yeah, I think there's potential to have that be really impressive, but I think how much effort. But then I think you can easily go too far, and it will be
Right, right,
visually overwhelming in the piece.
right. And the thing is, I have a son who said he wants this piece when I'm done stitching it, so that's nice.
Yeah.
And he had a bearded dragon,
Oh,
so he'd think that is cool if I could get that
right.
rough just right.
So
So
for that reason, a little extra effort, well worth it.
right, right, because he knows he'd like it.
Yeah.
So maybe I should go through my stash of, I don't have as many neon rays as I thought I did. I mainly have red and white, but I have, and it fell on the
I
floor.
have a small truckload of it. I'll get it from
Okay,
Sarah's. Yeah. I mean, I
here, just hold on a second.
literally a small truckload.
Okay, I had to unhook my headset for a second, but
Oh,
someone someone gave me these. Now they're tubes. I don't know what these are. They're ribbons. Maybe someone can help me with this. They're kind of, you can see, you see that? Let me pull on the white.
move further away from you so we can be in better light. There we go.
See that?
Yeah.
And this one's sparkly. So it's kind of like a neon rays.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have this teal, I mean, I have this pretty, pretty blue one, which is, I think would work great on the Southwest canvas.
Yep.
See that?
Yep.
And I'm thinking I could stitch this. Oh, you can't see the snake here. I could stitch the snake in that, right?
I think so. Why not?
So I have a bunch of those in different colors, and I'm thinking I might just pull those
Yeah. Okay. A couple things
and
here
then,
before we go
okay.
on. So Cindy Baldwin suggesting a darning stitch for the background.
Mm,
So that's worth looking at. A Nooper, how
yes.
about padding and leather or suede?
For the you mean
I assume she means for the bearded dragon.
probably, and that might work. And and I've had several people suggest like woven picots, because it's
Mm-hmm.
pointy, so something like that.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling that's going to require an experiment
Yeah.
to get that head just the way I want it.
Yeah. Let's see. Sharon, can you use any sort of thread floss for needlepoint? Yes. Whatever. Whatever you want.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so
Most of these threads, like Beth has laid out there, are used primarily in needlepoint because, like, to use them in cross stitch on linen would not be very practical.
no, they're too thick. They're too thick. They need a big hole to go through. But you can ply some of these down and do it. That's for sure. Like this, the Fiesta, you
Yeah.
can ply down. It's just a floss. But the needlepoint, this is the neon rays is a flat, and you have to do longer stitches with it anyway for it to look nice, but it's a flat ribbon. Kathy Ray is kind of good about explaining this, see, and so it's a little thinner than those ribbons the other ones, the
Yeah.
blue ones. So I might have problems stitching. Well, not too bad. Well, we'll see.
It's worth a try.
Um, right, since I have them,
Yeah. And when she
might
says
as well.
plying them down, go back 2 months to the thread talk. I think it was 2 months ago. Kathy Ray took us through a really neat exercise about tearing threads apart and how you really get a whole lot more options out of it by just separating some threads. A lot of threads will separate into smaller plies, and it's worth watching because it was quite fascinating what she was able to get out of threads. Um, they give more variety. So now
Okay,
Susan,
thank you, Martha, for letting. Oh, go ahead.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
Martha said that this was ribbon floss. Okay, which is nice to know.
Oh, that stuff.
Ribbon floss.
Okay.
Yes. And then what about the red in the border? Susan's asking.
Well, I think she
I
put
don't
that up
know.
when you had that. Is it the Fiesta? I think you were holding that when she put
Oh,
that up.
the Fiesta.
Is that red?
Oh,
Is
this is
that red?
green.
No, it's the red one you had.
And
What
this is
is
green.
that?
The neon rays.
I think that's when she put that question up. Is that right, Martha
Okay.
or Susan?
Yeah, the flat ribbon might look good on the border, and that's what I'm wondering, how to do the border. So you've got all this border here,
Yeah.
and I'm thinking if I did big, long stitches, it's going to be hung. I mean, I'm giving it to a college student. There's no way this is going to be a pillow. I've
Right.
seen what his apartment looks like. Um, as much as I love the child, it needs to be hung up on the wall.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yep. You love him,
so
wouldn't want to live with him.
that's right. That's right. So yeah, so this red would be the neon rays would be great on the
Yeah.
flat. And that's what I'm wondering, is what sort of texture to add, because that's going to be really going to be the frame.
Yeah. See, I've been thinking about that border. Every time I see that border, see, I want to do. I'm gonna, politically correct. I don't know if I'm or not, but every time I see that border, I want to do Navajo blanket feel, almost
Mm-hmm.
even to use wool.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because those colors are so rich, but it just says heavy wool blanket to me around there.
See, and that's and to me, that's my problem. It doesn't say shiny neon
No,
rays to me.
no.
It doesn't. And that's why I don't know. I don't know if I want to do wool, but what if I just too itchy? I don't know. I laid couch work for the border area. Laid couch work.
Hmm.
Oh, what do you mean? Explain yourself more, Tina. Because I saw this here, this narrow red line. I have some GIMP that's variegated red,
Mm-hmm.
GIMP wire that I could see couching that down with
Oh.
black.
Uh-huh.
Add texture to the black areas. So a Smyrna, I see now I love Smyrna crosses. I got to tell you that. So like I could see doing, I'd have to count it out. Could I do a Smyrna crosses in here?
Yeah.
I I don't know, but that'd be a whole, I know those take forever to do. Forever. And they're a big thread eater. I don't know. I have to think about that more.
But
So
see,
the
to
border
me,
might be
yeah,
long.
yeah, to me that border, and that I say Navajo blanket, heavy wool, but to me it almost would serve as the mat or the frame. You could get a frame that visually disappears and let that border
Hmm.
um, serve as
Right,
the frame because it's so heavy and rich.
right, right. So would you just do 10 stitch then if you're using wool?
Uh, no, I'd
Uh,
want I'd
uh,
want something linear to get around there visually. satin.
Mhm.
See,
Yeah,
for
just
yeah, I think there's a good idea in texture in the black, but some of it to me has to be satin that's going parallel with the edge.
right. Yeah, I think of the New Mexico state seal. That's what I see when I see like this corner right here.
Uh huh.
I see the New Mexico state seal, which is all in yellow and black, but it's a long, there's straight lines, and I do see that. Ooh, ooh. So like, no, the see you're, but see you're seeing, see, and I see long stitches with this ribbon.
Yeah.
I don't know. That might be one of the last things I'll have to experiment with that in the gecko head. I
Yeah.
mean the bearded dragon head.
And see
Add
those
texture to like,
kind of diamond shapes. It seems to me those need to raise up. Not sure
you
how.
mean
Yeah, that
this,
raise up
the
with,
reds in the
and then
center?
yeah, and then use that cross for some. Do something with that cross so that you
Mm.
like they're little hills. I don't know.
Hmm. Oh, I want now
Here,
raised up. Now that
Tina's saying Bayou stitch the red, blues, and pinks of the border. That's what laid couch work is. I don't know. Yeah, I don't.
I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to look that one up because I don't know what the bayou stitch is.
Yeah, I'm no help. Yeah,
That's what laid. So if you okay, let's see if maybe this is what I'm thinking. So let's say this is actually black. I don't have any black. And then she's saying couch this in the red and then this purple, this in the red when I hit the black. Is that what you're thinking? Kind of like
hmm.
lay a long couching stitch in a dark color, like a black or something.
Is that what you're after,
And
Tina?
then yeah, I don't know. That might be interesting.
Yeah,
Hmm. I can't really see it, but it's because I all I see is long stitches on these. And then I'm wondering, like a waffle stitch, is that what you're thinking here? I don't know if that's kind of an odd shape,
right.
but I bet you could fiddle with one so it would work in there.
Yeah, yeah. It
Or
just
yeah.
seems like that should those should raise up, and then there's a piece of Krynic for the X on top or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Well, I have black Krynic, believe it or not. You believe it because you know
Yes.
black crossing border bullion knots. Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
bullion knots. Actually, that's what Mary's suggesting. But look, okay, for these toes, someone suggested like I stitch my sand, and they said put like bullion knots for the toes. And I don't
yeah.
remember whose suggestion that was.
See,
And
that could
I
work.
could definitely see those. I definitely see it on the
Yeah.
gecko because it would
And
make it look
go ahead.
it make him look like he was standing on the sand because it'd
Yep.
be dimensional.
Right. Look at Water's Edge, Diane Herman's Water's Edge, and down where in the sand where she has starfish. Um, not don't You don't have to do it right now, but at some point,
Thanks.
those are bullion knots, and it's that same effect. You would see immediately that would work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be very cool. That's a good idea.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this canvas, the reason I know why I bought it, because these are the colors that I love.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I stitch things in this colorway all the time. So I don't know. I'm just gonna have to, I think it's gonna be one of those. I probably now um, Jane Wood told us, did she say to start with a background? She said people do it all different ways.
Yeah. Well, I thought.
But I'm thinking
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm thinking I might because I might just to try to get something going here, start at one corner and go down. So I just start on the canvas and get
Yeah.
over that fear factor.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the sand of all of this, you got the right sand color. Hang on to that. I really think that's it.
Yeah, I think that'll work. I mean, even with all these colors here, like let's pull back this one. If I pull colors from this, you know that it'll work.
Right.
Pull everything else away, that that'll work with that.
Yep.
It's not going to be a problem.
Yeah. Yep. Fun stuff.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Let me go to what Jane sent us. A couple of things here. Um, Suggest that we take photos or Xeroxes of the design. And
Yes.
I think, yeah, that's without a doubt. And for me, it's Xerox or take a photo and print it out. Doesn't matter how you do it, but so you can write on it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it seems like there's going to be a lot of marking up here.
Right.
And then, yeah, and then you've already talked about this. Figure out how you want to finish it so you don't bead something that's going to be in a tray, or the finisher has to put spacers in. You know, just be aware how it's going to be finished. So you talked about that. Yeah. Um,
Right. Because originally I thought this would be a cool pillow in my house until my
mhm.
son said, "Oh, are you?" And then I thought, "Yeah, I'm not making you a pillow. I love you, but not making you
Yeah.
a pillow." Well,
Let's see. Yeah, oh yeah. She says I almost always do my background first because I find it easier to continue the stitch by counting across something like the snake before it's stitched than trying to count an area after it's stitched.
right.
I have a friend who always works top down, so she keeps her hands off stitched areas. See, that's what I do, but I don't think that can apply to this. Um, just in general.
And I think too, I know when I do gay ends pieces, and it's got a ton of tent stitch or basket weave that you've got to put in, it's boring. So I have to give myself a little carrot. So if I'm starting in one corner and moving my way across, that means I can, once I get the pattern established, I could put in some of my gecko
Right.
and okay, do a little gecko, do a little background, do a little gecko, it gives me that carrot, I guess, to work on
Sure.
the boring parts.
Sure. Now here, Nooper asking a question that in this case is really good. Do you want all three to be equally weighted visually? And see,
Right. And
that's
I'm
what I
not
was getting
sure.
to. That's what I was getting to about one of them being smooth.
Okay, what do you mean smooth? Do you mean smooth as non-sparkly? Because I mean, the neon rays, if I do the snake and neon rays and the gecko and something non-shiny, does this, yeah, I don't know.
See,
I'm kind of
to me, the snake is a smooth-bodied animal.
right,
So whether your thread is sparkly, shiny, whatever is immaterial. It's the surface texture is smooth in comparison to the other two, which are generally fairly bumpy, kind of warty animals.
right,
I mean, that's when I look at that. I want that snake to have a smooth body. Whether it's shiny, sparkly is immaterial to me. It's uh, a smooth body.
right. So even using mm, neon rays plus, because that's a sparkly in there,
Mm-hmm.
it would still work. But then yeah, I don't know. I would think they'd have to almost be equally weighted. So that's why when I get this might, although this might end up being the focal point with if I use something textured, like this is a really thick pearl. I think it's a number 3. It's number 3 or number 5. Let's look. Number 3 pearl. for whatever stitch, because I think the color is right, and then the sparkle on top, I think your eye is going to be drawn to it.
Yeah.
Especially, and I was just even thinking of doing like a road stitch or a Smyrna cross if I could get it to figure out. But see, I've got the shape here, so I've got that. That'll make a difference in what stitch I use in that area. And
Yeah.
then if this is beaded, it will draw your eye, and I know that.
Right.
So
Well, all
yeah,
right. So let me take you back then. Hang on. Let me take you back now to the overall piece. If you look at that visually and pay attention to how your eye flows, my eye follows the line of the snake to the head pointing to the gecko, and then travels to the uh, bearded dragon,
right.
because it's like those two, the snake and the gecko, frame the bearded dragon. I mean, that's how my eye flows through the piece.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that
Mm-hmm.
tells you, but it seems to me like the snake and well, I know what it tells me. It seems to me the snake and the gecko almost have to have a similarity to some degree, and then your standout is the bearded dragon.
Right.
Um,
Yeah. And I think I'm gonna have to just, again, if it doesn't come out perfectly, that's all right. It's just a matter, it's gonna be my first one, so my son won't care unless it looks really ugly.
yeah,
He
right,
really
right,
won't. But for the most part, as long as I get it close, um,
yeah,
so yeah, I just don't know.
yeah,
It's this guy that's bothering the most, is this gecko, because he's
right,
got all those stripes and it distracts me.
yeah. It's too much barber pole look
Mm-hmm.
to me.
Yeah.
It needs to get toned down. Yeah,
Right. And that's why I'm thinking, and I think this is still too busy. It's variegated on him. To me, it's too busy. But if I pulled out and just did the blues and the greens and left out the purples,
right,
that might be perfect on him.
right.
And then, um, but I don't, it's not gonna be, well, he'd be textured. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Sandy, I don't think I'm gonna do the stripes on the gecko. Yeah, I think he's too stripy. I think he's too stripy.
It's almost distracting as you look at it.
Yes.
It's so stripy. It's
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you're using a lot of shiny threads for animals, you might want to use something like floss and as a contrast, or maybe silk or ivory. Hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
My guess is one of the animals you're going to stitch and tear it out because you'll hate
Right. At
it.
least one.
Yeah. You go.
And
Yeah.
and I might try to go down because I think the snake is going to be the easiest one because I think I know I can get these in the little heart, the little diamonds in. I can start with that and get that all stitched in and figure out whatever stitch. I think some sort of diamondy stitch. There's got to
Yeah.
be a like a Hungarian or something, right? The
Right.
Hungarian diamond shaped,
I believe.
and stitch that in there. Yes, yes, it is, and that would work in there.
Hmm.
I think I just have to check my sizing, and then I could get this in, and then I can work on the other guys.
Yeah. Now, see, Nooper here, I see all three and the frame being equally textured. Background would be receding with undulating waviness of desert sand with a bit of metallic.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we have the sand. I think you have.
And don't you think a diagonal, Nooper? Don't you think something that goes diagonally across this way? For some reason, that's, even though this is very, um, these are horizontal lines. I think the diagonal, like you said, like waves. I think each will be okay, here's Karen. I think each will be a different texture and visual. Having especially stitches in each will look awesome. Yeah, the thread decisions are the hardest. Thanks, Karen. Yeah. Oh, oh, yay. So okay, so Sharon A, her comment, I thought, found a tutorial by Sarah Humphrey on the Bayou stitch from 2017 that Tina was talking about. She's learning a new stitch. That's what this is all about. So we're gonna
Yep.
have to look that stitch up. I got it in my notes to look afterwards. Yeah, great comments.
Yeah. See, this is what this is fun. Thank you, folks. Keep them coming. That's what we wanted to
Yeah,
achieve here.
yeah,
Just get the
right,
thoughts out. Yep.
right. And again, once I start putting needle to canvas, it's gonna change because
Sure.
you're just not you don't know until you start putting the stitches in if they're really gonna work. You think they might, but
Well,
hmm,
isn't and quite frankly, that's to me that's the core of the exercise with this thing is that
right.
experimentation.
Right. If I had just wanted to get the canvas done, I could have sent it to someone or sent a
Right.
picture and said, "Here, make me a stitch guide." And they would have done a lovely job, and I would have gotten it done, and I would have followed it. But this is what I want to be able to do is to look at a canvas and say, "Okay, what does this need? How can I make this enhance it,
Yeah.
make it
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
own?"
Because see, yeah, for me, this project is not about getting the piece done. I mean, obviously, you want to get it done, but it's this process, this thinking through, back and forth, what might not work, because it isn't so much just for this piece. It's what you learn that you apply elsewhere. Um,
Right, right, right,
yeah, it's the exercise to me is far more valuable than a finished piece.
right, right.
Yeah.
I keep thinking about your wool idea around the border.
Well, every from the first time I saw this piece, there was something that border for me is what speaks, and it was earlier today that came to me, that it just I just saw a Navajo blanket, heavy wool Navajo blanket, and wool may be too
Hmm.
much. You know, I'm not pretending that that's the solution, but it just that feel, that texture to me.
Right. Well, and I wonder, even if I used floss on it, might still be okay. Although floss is shiny,
Yeah.
you don't think of it as shiny, but it is, especially if I lay long, long stitches,
Right.
which would make that go so fast.
Yes, it would.
But I'm gonna have to look at that bayou stitch because that's intriguing to me.
Mm-hmm. Now here, we got a couple others. Oh, Sarah Humphrey. She's fantastic. Exactly, Karen. The issue with doing background first is it may be more difficult to take out stitches if you need to, and may restrict your choice of stitches in the main motifs. Yeah,
Mm, yeah. And I did worry about that too.
to play with it. Have to see.
Um, hmm.
But I see. I think
Okay,
Jane,
and then
Jane has the good point about keeping that flow across all these pieces and all these elements with the background, so you don't get things out of alignment.
right, right. Because I think it looks wonky if you get that background out of step. You can look at it and your eye will tell you something is a little wrong.
Yeah, yeah,
All
yeah.
right, Rebecca asked, what if you beaded a wire or a really stiff thread and couched it down for the dragon ruffle? Yeah, I've been thinking about that. You know,
Yep.
what can I do to make that? Because if you know what a bearded dragon, they've got that and it sticks out. It's above their body, above their shoulders. It's just really cool.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how you end up doing that because like I said, it can go way over the top in a hurry, but done right, it can be very, very cool. Got to find
Right.
that happy medium. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Okay.
Right.
All right. I think so. But let's try mine.
Yeah.
I don't have near as
All
many
right.
things because they're locked away. But um, so okay. So here's mine. Um, Here, let me see what I can do about. I guess that's it. Yeah. So okay. So here's here's mine now. Um, a couple of things that Jane had said was because I was concerned about the shading. See, this is what always bugs me about um, painting canvases because like I don't want to give up this shading in this. I don't want to give up the shading in the beaks because to me that then it just becomes this one dimensional thing. And so then Jane says to us that that's why we have open stitches. So you let the paint shading come through, which
Mm-hmm.
and she's suggesting using silks and let's see, I'm not sure I have good colors out here. I'm pretty sure I don't have good colors. I was using what I could find quickly, but am I close there?
Yes. You're
DMC,
on.
but is the color in the ball game or
It
not at
it
all?
looks to me like it is.
Yeah. So see there's where you could, assuming this DMC color is works, it with an open stitch I can see how that would work all the way around, and then let the darker. But up here I think I would transition to a darker color.
Right. And if you used an open stitch, it would still it means you wouldn't have to do every single stitch. You would be easy to
Right.
translate in.
Right. Yeah. So that seemed a good idea. And I thought I had a. What did I do? I thought I had one for here. Because see, this is more solid here. Like there's no, the
Right.
only shading is just paintbrush. Then that's just painted. So it seems like I might be able to do a more solid stitch here and a more solid one here. But then this has kind of a lighter. It doesn't really show up, but a little lighter thing. But see, here's classic right here for me in that head. I don't want to give up that shading.
Yes. But
So
it and again, some sort of open stitch
yeah,
would do that. Or you don't, if you, and that's such a small area. I mean, how many threads are between the two, between that purpley blue and the gold line above it? You
one,
know, it,
two,
it,
three,
it,
four. Yes, four threads. Yeah, we're not dealing with very
so
much.
you're not doing with a huge space there.
Yeah.
So something like, now you're gonna make me look. And just something open would be fun. I don't know, you don't have a name, but someone suggests could you do the long and short for the beak
Oh,
on the beaks?
oh, oh. Now there.
See?
That never occurred to me on needlepoint canvas, but who says you can't? Right?
Right,
Then I could keep the slope of the thread better in alignment with the triangle of the beak. Hmm.
right.
Okay.
And here, and then I'm just looking at, you could do for your, like a, for that open area. Oh, I just saw it. What? Losing my mind. Um, Not the chain. I don't want to do a chain stitch. That'd be crazy. Well, not really crazy, but like a fan stitch. That's the name.
Mm-hmm.
And because that's directional. So
Yeah.
you'd have it looking like it was almost like a feathers in there,
Yeah.
and you could make it fit.
Right. Because yeah,
And
because
then,
when we
yeah.
talked about this the last time, that's the thing for me is I feel, excuse me, I feel a strong need to keep the angled sections with stitches that retain that angle visually,
Mm-hmm.
and then in the cheeks there, go with something that contrasts with it.
And Susan's suggesting like a variegated thread. And there's some like Gloriana makes some beautiful, and I think so does someone mentioned this for me, but the pepper pot silks, don't they have something that's like just not the huge jumps like watercolors,
Uh huh.
but that are very, very slightly variegated
Uh
so
huh.
that you have just a little bit of movement. Oh, here, I do have one. Hold on. Vineyard Silks. I knew I would think,
Okay.
um, Threadworks has some, and they're
Okay.
beautiful. They're thicker, but they're a nice variegation on them. Just slight, just so slight.
Mm-hmm.
Those are by Threadworks.
Okay. All right. But you think pepper pot does too, huh?
I think, does Pepper Pot?
I've only worked with solids, so I don't know. I love the
Yeah,
thread, but I've only worked with solids.
I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
Like because I haven't worked with them that much. I've only used them a couple of times, and I just think they're lovely threads.
Yes, they are.
But I do like the Vineyard Silk. Um, I That's a really pretty thread,
Yeah.
and it's just very subtle in the variegation on it.
All right. I'm gonna check that out. Now,
And same with Gloriana.
yeah,
Oh,
those are very nice. Now, we between you, Jane, and me throughout the days here, I think we're all agreed that on the crests up here, that I have to try silk straw. And
mm-hmm.
Jane pulled some colors and sent me a picture. And if I could have, I've got some silk straw that wrong colors, but I really wanted to lay it on that tonight, but it's locked away. But I think that we have to. I think I have to try
Right,
with silk. I have to try. It may not work, but it just to me, yeah.
right. So, and did she suggest stitches for those crests?
I don't think so. She was mainly focusing on the getting the colors. um, I
All
think
right.
there's something there.
Okay, so Josie wants to know what counts are your canvas. Mine's 18.
Same, 18. Yeah, yeah.
And Susan's suggesting a T-stitch for the small areas on the faces. It's open.
No,
And I,
on the cheeks. Yeah, well, that's yeah,
yeah. And then thread painting by Alice would make a color graduation.
yeah. I gotta play
Oh.
with that. Yeah, the
Mm-hmm.
T stitch on the cheeks. Yeah. Okay.
What is silk straw? Well, I could show you, but it's not, I don't have any right here because I wasn't going to play with
So,
it on my
so
canvas.
frustrates me. I can't get to it. I got two skeins of it, like not even 5 feet from me, and I can't get to it because it's very cool stuff. If it works, it's going to be really cool. Um,
Yeah. If you hold on, I can get mine. I've got to unplug
Okay.
myself for a second.
Yeah.
Hold on.
So that's, let's see, Nooper. Use a few shades of thread in the same color family and add a metallic. Blend the colors gradually as, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I gotta, no matter what I do, I gotta keep that shading. Um, so, okay, we'll try that too. Okay. So that's, yeah, see, the thing with the silk straw that I'm not sure about is that the crest areas, the color areas, are not the same width, either within themselves or from bird to bird. So I may end up splitting straws a lot, but not sure. Here comes Beth. Here, I'm gonna go to your canvas, Beth.
All right. So this is silk straw.
Here, I'm gonna zoom in.
So it's
You got a white piece of paper or something?
yes.
There we go.
So here's a strand of it. So it's thin in comparison to like the ribbon. We'll do a little comparison here. See how thin that is in comparison to that.
Yeah.
And then and it comes it's you can split it because I have done that. You can see I split it with the purple.
See, and
And
while
it
you were
comes with
away, I was commenting that the crests on my birds, the color areas are not consistent. So then, all right. So tell me about splitting it. Does it split fairly controlled, or is it pretty random?
you can't I I split it. I didn't have a problem splitting it.
Like the
It was
fibers
pretty
are pretty
controlled.
parallel.
Yes.
Okay. So
And then,
if I want a third of the ribbon, I can split it and be
right,
pretty close.
yeah, but it's not that fat. You'd have a
Yeah.
third of it. I think a half would be easier, but
Yeah.
third. It's pretty narrow. It is pretty narrow. And
See,
it's
but the ones that I have are wider.
really
I'm pretty sure mine's wider. I may be just smoking happy weed, but
okay, because this is Silk Road
that's
fibers.
what I
And then
have. Yeah.
okay, and it was all thin. It wasn't anything. Oh,
Oh.
here just a second. My cat's discovered something. Cat, no, no, no.
Okay.
Oh, cats. Sorry about that, people. He discovered threads.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, here's something else I thought of you and your bird head. Can you see that?
Yeah. What is it?
And it's it's painter's thread. It's called GIMP,
Yeah.
and it's a wire.
Oh, okay.
And so you can't. I mean, you can kind of can stitch with it. It's better for couching.
Yeah, I have some here. I have. Where is it? Oh, that's gilt, not gimp.
No, yeah, this is
No,
it's
I have gilt. I have gilt, not gimp.
okay. So this is remember memory wire. DMC had
Yeah.
memory wire.
Yeah.
Okay, which this is by Painter's Thread, and
Okay.
it and this was the color I was thinking on using on mine, but it's probably too pinky, too hot pink.
Uh huh.
It might work to couch down, but this yellow reminds me of your crest of your one of your birds.
Yeah. Let me go to that. Yeah, the top one here.
Yes. So, because this is bendable, I don't know what you could do with that, how that would work.
Yeah,
For some reason I saw this somehow couched down in there, but I think it's just mainly because it's the right color
yeah. Well,
than
I
anything
think
else.
yeah, I'm going to go back to mine. I think without a doubt, there's an awful lot of gold in between the lines, and so I had some gold thread out, and there definitely has to be gold in this uh, couch down.
Right.
That has to
Yes.
be
Yes.
because it's everywhere. Like this
Right.
is
And I
yeah. Go ahead.
and I see little gold beads where there's those little dots,
Right, but see
if
that
you can.
and this is where I pulled out the check thread is where those dots are.
Oh,
See, that's check thread. And I wondered because that's a continuous line, and so that's where I was going to play. Do I want to put like little X's and have dots, or do I want to use a bumpy thread like this and have a continuous line?
yes. And that would go lots faster. And then, okay, I could see you doing something kind of, you did your open stitch there and it would almost frame it.
Yes, yes.
Hmm.
So I like that. And see, and then there's gold down here. All of these things are outlined in gold. So then here, this is gilt twist, which is a thinner thread. So then I'm thinking couch that down here so that it contrasts
Hmm.
with the dots
Right.
and gives a line rather than a bumpy view. And again, defining each of the areas because there's gold up here
Yeah.
too. Like there's gold running through all of these. But I think there could be too much in a hurry.
Right. Right. And then depending on what you do with those crests, you know, um, you- what sort of stitch you'd use, or if you have it even be dimensional, those crests kind of sticking out.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
obviously don't want them sticking out like turkey work, I don't think, but
No,
uh, just a little bit more dimensional because that's what they're supposed to look like.
right. And
Yeah.
see, and Nooper, you have a good point that it maybe it isn't all gold work threads. That's what I could put my hands on tonight. But maybe it's a mixture of Kreinik and gold work threads depending on what area I'm in. Yeah,
Right. Right.
Sprat's head. I love the Sprat's head stitch. Yes.
Oh, yeah, fishbone, fly stitch. Yeah, for the feathers.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And I like the fly stitch. That's a fun one to do.
Yeah. So that,
Yeah, that's
and then I
and
wondered.
I see
Oh, go ahead.
so much possibility in the crests of it, you know, using some of the more textured uh, threads that are out there, just letting them do the work and
Mm-hmm.
finding something like all the, there's the ones that are furry that kind of are flyaway that
Mm-hmm.
you would, and if you just lightly couch them down, then it would look like feathers. Who did we see that did that recently? Oh my. Oh, I know. At my guild meeting, someone had done a canvas, a painted canvas, and it was a fan, and they couched down kind of like fancy fur or something in hot pink,
Uh-huh.
and it looked like feathers, so that it was like a feathered fan.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was neat.
And see, now another thing that has come to my mind, not just now, but it did earlier. Who cares when it came to my mind? Does that really matter? I don't think it does. But I wondered about taking one of these areas and doing an open stitch with a contrasting color. This isn't that color, but um, you know what I mean? An open and
Right.
create a grid. I wonder if that would be an interesting move. And see, that's part of one of the things that's in my head is do I try to do all of these three birds with the same basic look, and then some of the Laurel Birch pieces where she has three animals, mainly the horses, people will have each horse will be completely different. And so I
And
haven't,
and that can look really nice. You know, as long as it doesn't look too busy.
yeah,
Well, and you've got the birds all have two colors too. So if you did something contrasting on them, I don't know. Yeah, I don't. Interesting.
yeah. Now another thing that Jane said that I thought was really struck me is we had talked about this white area, and here I'll move it over so it's not. We had talked about this, and I had mentioned about putting a very light green in there to uh, as if light is reflecting off of leaves surrounding leaves. But then Jane, I think, came up with an idea that I almost like better, and that's to put a pale blue. And I'm no color, folks. I hope this is pale blue. It looks blue to me. Um, a pale blue in these areas to suggest sky, and I like that idea.
Yeah, the one on yeah, that one's purple.
Oh, see, I knew it.
That purple would be cool on one of your other birds, but because he's lighter than the one with there's one that the one in the middle, that purple might work. That light purple might look really cool
Here,
underneath in an open stitch. Yeah.
here,
hmm I think so. It's hard to say. But yeah, that blue would work. It would be a nice light shade.
yeah.
Yeah. One of
See,
those blues. That's
hmm,
that, that one. Oh,
this
the
one,
one you were just touching that. No, the other one.
the other one, this one,
Whatever number that. Yeah,
827.
I like that one. 827.
So that laid in there.
I because it's nice and pale.
Yeah. Doesn't seem like it can be too. It seems like it could be too much in a hurry.
Yeah. And I think if you figure out what blue you're using on, there's the blue guy who has a leaf in front of him, or you figure out what greens you're using to coordinate with those, because you got to make sure it doesn't have a gray in it, because the blues will have grays in them, or
Hmm.
there'll be maybe a little pinky or whatever.
Yeah. To
Oh,
me, it's like a baby blue, robin egg blue. I don't know, something like that.
hmm right. And um, and you know what they've decided your canvas looks kind of like Egyptian figures.
Oh, very much, very much. Oh yeah, I would agree 100%. Yeah.
Oh,
Which is why to me it's. Oh, I agree. Why it's important to have gold in there.
right. Yeah.
Oh no, they're very much Egyptian flavored heads. Yes, yes. Oh, there. Okay, Cindy. Yeah, Cindy. That yes. Do that blending thing in and out. Yeah.
Right. Right. And I guess it depends on I like the idea of an open stitch and letting the canvas
Hmm.
because they're beautifully painted,
Yeah.
and let the paint work for you. Just find a silk or a floss that's just lightly variegated,
Yeah.
and so that way it doesn't in just a couple of strands.
Hmm. But yeah, I'm with the ladies here that this in the white area, the white area can't be. It's just too striking. It hurts.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to
Right.
be toned down, and that blue. I think the
And
blue
yeah,
will.
make it sky.
Yeah, I think it will be a better choice than a pale green.
Have you thought about how you're going to do the eyes?
I've thought about it. Yeah, I've thought about it.
uh, Beads, um, padded, some sort of padded stitch, so they're round. I don't
Well,
know. Are they gonna?
I jumped to beads. All right, yeah, I did that, and then I thought, well, but I got to have more than one bead, or I'll have to get gigantic beads, which will look ridiculous.
Right.
So then, yeah, so then I have to do some kind of a padded or rounded stitch because yeah, it seems like they should come up a little bit.
Right. Right.
Here, Mary, you may want to use a different color of gold in the crest. Use a dark gold. Well, and that's a good point too, Mary, because I had pulled out as something to play with. This is a rough pearl green, which is is not. But I had thought about that too, something like that. Not this one, um, but even that, this one even with the right thread on these black lines could work.
Oh, yes. It really could. Put it on. Can you put it on the one next to it? I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, I like that actually. And it because it contrasts, you would almost not have to do the stitches, the pink in there, that hot pink,
Yeah,
because then you'd have that um those lines just couched in and they would just speak for themselves.
right.
All right. And Sandy wants to know, what do you think the focal point is the piece?
Well, and I've wondered that because to me, it's which bird is the focal point. One of the birds to me has to stand out, and I don't know which one it is.
Well, Sharon's suggesting the eyes.
Okay.
Oh, no, she said that might determine how busy the eyes will be. What's the focal
Oh, I
point?
see.
Okay, I reread it. Okay, and then and I'm sorry, I don't know your name. Um, Someone suggested using a gold bead surrounded by stitching for the eye.
Hmm.
And I know what she's saying because I'm trying to think where I've seen that done, and it gives that eye that it makes a dimension. So it's like you're covering it, the bead, with the stitching, so you only see a small part of the sparkle.
Oh, I see what you mean. Oh, I see. Okay. I wasn't visualizing that. Okay, now I get it. So it looks like a cornea. It's just enough that it looks like a cornea.
Right, right. But you're covering most of it up.
Right. Oh,
Oh, that
okay.
would be cool. That would be very cool. That'd be almost stump work.
I wonder what is that? Is it shishiki? What is that mirrored? That
Um,
from India, I think it is, where they,
oh, I know
uh,
what you're talking about.
yeah, shishiki is it? That doesn't seem right.
No, no.
But like a glass, like a half glass bead, and then yeah, and then stitch
Mm-hmm.
around it to hold it down, and just let enough show through.
Shashiko? No.
Ah, because
Okay.
yeah, Mary's saying it. Center bird stand out, make the one with the most color blending in the red orange to also make it stand out. Yeah,
Shisha. Thank you,
shisha.
Nooper.
There we go.
Shisha.
Yeah,
Thanks, Nooper.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that would work.
That could be
Yes.
cool.
Yeah. And then it would make the eyes really, you have to find something just the right size.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That'd be tricky,
Hmm.
but that could come together.
I
Oh,
just realized you have all those lines above the eyes. I mean,
yes,
they're rounding.
there's so many lines, and
Hmm.
these Egyptian eyes, and exactly right, and these Egyptian eyes, and they need to be retained, like very sharp. To me, the ends need to be very pointed to keep that.
Right,
And I'm not sure
right.
what to do about the white, the unpainted. Something's got to go in there. I don't think it can be white.
Oh, and yeah. You mean the white around the leaves?
No, the white around the eyes here.
Right. You're gonna have to stitch that.
Something's got to go in there to take the edge off of that.
Hmm.
Not much, but something. And I don't know what to do. I can't see the leaves. I've had every time I look at the leaves, I got nothing happens to me. Um, I'm just not sure.
Yeah, it does look, Sandy P, it does look like each eye has mascara,
Right.
like eyeliner
It's
around
that
it.
Cleopatra. It's that Cleopatra look.
Yes, yes. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't, yeah, your leaves. That's it. And
Yeah. I don't.
not
I don't
a
know. I just don't know.
a diamond ray, some sort of, well, I don't know. Hmm.
Because I don't want to um, basket weave it, but the only thing I've come up with is the dark, the ribs of the leaves, to do something with that makes them come up, and then basket weave the greens.
Oh, I just, I don't, I just, mm. I can see basket weaving the blue into where the white is,
Oh,
but
okay. Hmm.
I
But
can't see basket weaving those leaves.
but how do you get how see my trouble is how do I get a linear center to edge look? I haven't studied a bunch of stitches to see, but yeah, maybe there's just a stitch to do it, but
Interesting.
just a lot of
Yeah,
compensating there.
and uh and again, letting your thread work for you.
Mm-hmm. Here's who said greens in the 900s. Here, get my. I had some of those out and then I put them away because I so love green.
Yeah, keep the leaves simple. Leaves ribbon with a gold thread couched in the center. You could use or in a way and give it a bit of shading, is what Nooper's suggesting. What about that flat ribbon for the leaves and let the black just show through? What about flat ribbon for the leaves and let the black just show through? Um, so like using,
See, there's some 900 greens.
mm-hmm, and those would all work.
Yeah, yeah, all those will work in some way or another.
Right, right. But I mean, I just don't think you're going to want to basket weave all those babies.
Oh, I don't want to. Don't think for a
And
minute.
and all I
That
can
was the
I when I
understatement of the evening right there.
yeah, yeah, no, you don't want to do that. That'd be horrible. I mean, it would be horrible. If you had to, you could do it. But I'm just thinking it just wouldn't help. I don't think it would enhance the canvas any.
Yeah.
I think if you kept a just long flat stitch, just made them, I don't know, just like a long ribbon.
Mm-hmm.
Which DMC is a greeny yellow that Gary has out? Is it the I have a chartreuse yellow, which is 704, but that 900 series really seems to work there.
Yeah. I don't have 704 here.
Oh, a loose feather stitch or crosses so that the canvas painting shows through. I think we're all liking the canvas and just letting, because it's such a beautifully painted canvas.
Does herringbone does herringbone or fishbone work in those leaves?
Hmm.
See, that's where you got to get the books out and just lay out stuff. I think.
Right, right. Herringbone. I've got 267 on our lovely needlepoint book, which is the one I have and I use all the time. Oh, oh, oh. Okay, go to your black book, the needlepoint book, and pull it
Mm-hmm.
out and look at there's herringbone gone wrong. I don't but
Yeah,
the
there.
diagonal
See,
fern.
there. Yeah,
The
right
diagonal
there.
fern. That's what I'm thinking.
Here. Okay. Oh,
Yes,
there it
one of
is.
those.
Right here. There it is.
Right.
There it
That's it.
is. Right there. Well played.
Yes.
Well played.
That would work in there. And then you could use your floss. You've got all those pretty colors of floss. You've already got them.
Yep. Well played.
Someone's suggesting try DMC 3347 to add that into your pile.
Three,
And
three,
it might
four,
be a really,
seven.
yeah, if you've got it.
Well, let me see. Probably
Anne
not.
Marie. Yeah. It's kind of a greeny yellow.
Oh, I do. Look at me. It's almost like I have some threads. Here's. Oh, here. Let me get the book out of the way. All right. That's diagonal fern. Here's,
Yeah.
here's 3347. Right here.
Oh, look at that with the
Yep.
green. It matches that leaf.
Yep.
Now, how you would do it, well, it doesn't matter. You don't have, because you're not going to want to cover all the paint. You're not going to cover every single inch of that paint up. You don't have to.
Yeah.
You just choose which color you want to emphasize and go for it. I like that green though.
Yeah. It's
And
right
then
there.
and then use a darker color maybe for some of the even the same stitch if you like, but use a different.
Is that the two right there?
Oh, I like those.
Is that them? Or is this too dark?
I don't know. It's hard to say on the monitor.
Yeah.
It would work. And you could blend them.
Maybe better.
I like the first one better.
The darker one. 986.
Okay. And this is where I cheat and use my DMC card
Yeah.
and to see which ones they say go in order.
Yeah. But this is right here, 3347. That's the one.
Right.
Perfect. Thank you. Whoever that was, yes.
I'll go back up.
Whoever it was, bravo. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Whoever
Thank
it
you.
is. Anne Marie. Thank you. Yes.
I lost it here.
I've written it down. Okay, so all right, okay, now I feel like I can approach those leaves.
Yeah,
With that
986. 986 and 3347 is what they're suggesting. Thanks,
Okay.
Anne Marie.
So that's these two then.
And that would, right. And then you might want to do something different for the one that's on top of the birds.
Right.
But other than that, I mean, that would work.
Because this
And then
is, yeah.
And if you wanted for there's like a back stitch that goes through it. You could do a brown or something, or use it if you want to keep with the gold theme, add a
Yeah.
gold color. But yeah, that would look really nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh boy, that's huge for me right there. At least now, because I mean the leaves were just a blank slate to me every time I looked at them.
All right.
Now, yeah.
Okay, now Mary's asking a question, and I think this is important. My sand is going to be kind of the resting place on my canvas. Where is your eye going to rest on your canvas?
I don't think it does. I think that's kind of the problem. It's almost in the solid area of the birds. I mean, there's just so much going on in this thing. But that's kind of
Right.
inherent. It's kind of inherent in all of these designs. There's just so much.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know where your eye rests. Because you'd
Right.
think your eye would rest in the white area between the leaves in the upper left, but that's just so stark it doesn't work.
Right.
Yeah,
And I think in a way, maybe if you're, even though you're not thinking about using basket weave, but if you use an open stitch on some of it, it'll be more restful than it just being like a highly textured, you know,
yeah,
smart across or whatever, you know.
yeah. 841 for stems.
Ooh.
Oh, look at me. You'd almost think I had a collection of DMC threads. You'd almost think that. There's 841. Yeah. See, that's painted kind of a goldish color, kind of a greenish. It looks like those stems.
Yeah, but I still think it would work.
This would work, yeah. This would work. So there's my leaf. Are we talking that's my leaves? Here, 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 and here.
I would think so.
All of these leaves, and then do something different over here.
Maybe. Yeah.
To anchor it, because this is a little darker to anchor. See, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's a matter of us just getting started, getting the idea, starting on it,
Yeah.
and just,
Because see, okay, so with this diagonal fern stitch and these colors, see, I would sit down tonight, and if I had the stretcher bars, I would go to work on these leaves right away.
Right. Because we have nothing else to stitch.
Right, bored out of my mind. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, she's okay. So Anne Marie is thinking that you might want to try a lighter color for your
For the
841. Yeah.
Yeah, mine's an older thread, that's for sure. I don't have my card handy.
Yeah, and mine's not upstairs right now. So,
Well, I
but
can't.
it's
in
one
the
of those
ballgame.
things. At least you've got to start. You've got to start. You know where you need to go
Right.
with that, and
Yeah.
it gets you moving in the right direction.
Right. These two colors are spot on.
Right.
Okay, so I play with this one.
Right.
That's
And
fine.
and just it looks to me like the green in the leaves is over the back bird and the middle bird. It's the same green in there.
Here.
And well, above the birds, they
Here.
have the down on the birds themselves. There's a little green stripe on them above the eyes.
Oh, here. Oh, I see. Yes.
Oh, yes. And
Right
so you
there.
might want to pull the color.
Use the same color here.
Well, even if it's a different thread type.
Uh-huh.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because then your eye kind of, that helps your eye move around the canvas.
Yeah.
I don't know, just a thought.
No, I see what you mean. Yeah. Just enough to connect the pieces.
Right. Okay, and they're still thinking that you need a flat stitch, a plain flat stitch, like a long satin stitch for your leaves, so your eyes rest there
As
instead of
as
the
opposed
fern.
to the
But I
diagonal fern.
diagonal fern. But I don't think I think if he does it and lays it,
Oh,
it
I would
might
lay
not
it.
be too
I would
bad.
lay it.
Right. You mean like I think it'll look flatter with the even with the floss.
Who said 739? Here's 739. I'm not so sure.
730. Yeah, that looks too light.
Yeah.
And I think that this diagonal fern isn't that textured.
No. It looks in the book. It looks it, but no, I would lay the threads anyway. And I could find a
I
silk
think it'll
and
right and right. And if you found a variegated silk that was in that close to
yeah.
that color, then your work would be all done.
There's 842. Look at me just sporting out these DMC colors left and right.
Since you can't get into your locked
Right,
thread
right.
case.
I gotta go with what I have.
Oh, that's so sad. But yeah, I think if you found something, just well, I even think the floss would be fine.
hmm Yeah, yeah,
And yeah, I just think it would look nice.
yeah. Well, and that, yeah. Oh, holy smokes, 8:30 already. Because there's another question. Okay, with something like this. So, for instance, do all the leaves in DMC, and then make sure the birds are done in silks, golds, non-cotton threads
Mm-hmm.
to
And
try
because
and
that would make
create
her
to make it what?
yeah, more shine,
Yeah,
to make it more shiny, give it more attention.
yeah, and then let the DMC flavor be more of the frame, which is really what it is. Yeah.
Hmm.
Where do I plan to start stitching? Yeah. Excellent question, Alice. We're so proud of you for asking that question.
He doesn't know
I
yet.
have no idea on earth. But I would do the leaves right away.
Hmm.
No harm in that because they're kind of by themselves anyway. And then
Right,
that might help me
right,
better visualize the rest.
right. And that's what, when I told people, oh, I want to do a painted canvas, friends who do a lot of painted canvases said, so just start, just look at something and say, okay, I like how I think I know what I want to do, and just start stitching it.
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely leaving these out. Yay. Okay.
Yeah, made
All
some
right.
progress.
Yeah, I think let's call it there, huh?
Okay.
That was good. That was a fun session. Hope it
Yeah.
was fun for others. We had a good time.
I got ideas.
Yeah, so do I. Okay, there we have it. Hope that helped people. You certainly helped us, so thanks. Thanks for that. Fun. All right. I think we're out. Thanks,
All
everybody.
right. Bye.
Bye. Appreciate you joining us.